and today's topic is API Lifecycle, and we'll take one use case. Okay. So what is API Lifecycle? So API Lifecycle tell us like how effectively and efficiently we can use MuleSoft Anypoint platform. Okay. Like from initial business requirements to till deployment. Okay. So for that we need to use API platform. Okay. So this diagram is actually uh, 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 showing you the life cycle steps that MuleSoft suggest. Okay. So if you see, this is design, then prototype. So for each phase, we use some the component that MuleSoft provide in any point platform. Like for design, we have API designer. Guys, like in parallel, if you can add people, so please allow them. Okay. Okay, so this is like each component when we do design. So we need to design using API designer, flow designer. If we want to mock the service, then we need to use mocking service. If we need to see API console, then there is API console. So each phase have their own components in any point platform. Okay, so API lifecycle start with, so API lifecycle actually the first step is, guys, please mute yourself. Yep. Okay, so I was saying API lifecycle start with the requirement, the business requirement, where a business comes up with some needs, their business needs for the integration. Okay, so then MuleSoft team analyze those requirements and come up with a proper implementation of the architecture. Okay, so MuleSoft suggests us, as already we discussed, MuleSoft suggests a API-led architecture for the implementation. Okay, so we are assuming like all requirements are clear. All the documentation, high level documentation, low level documentation is done. All the mapping sheets are done to create it the API. Then after these things, we need to use this API lifecycle, each steps of this API lifecycle. Okay. So some of the people are new, so maybe they are thinking like, what is the API led architecture? So that we already covered in our first session, for second session maybe. So we'll add you we have those recordings, so we'll provide you those recordings. Okay. So guys, when we start any API implementation or based on some business requirements, so first we need a business documents. Number two, we need a high level design, low level design mapping sheets, because when we integrate from one system to another system, for example, one mobile app, we have a source system and target system is kind of our database or Salesforce or any third system. Okay, so for that we are sending some, for example, first name, last name from mobile app and want to store that data into Salesforce or database. For that, the field name, first name and last name in database can be in a different way. Like mobile app have in camel casing, but database have it in all letters are in capital, or like Salesforce have some different names. Okay, so we need a mapping sheet. Like mapping sheet means first name is coming like this, but we need to send into Salesforce like this. So that called as mapping sheet. So, okay. High level design is like what systems are there, how we need to integrate, what will be the components, like high level information to implement the API. Low level design will be, you can say low level design or service level design. There we will have all the information like what are the resources. Resources means like your URL or host or API methods. Okay, all those informations will be in our low level design. Okay, so these documents we prepare like business or business analysts, they will prepare before starting of any API implementation. Okay, so that the developers, they don't need to worry at the moment like how to create the high level design, low level design, mapping sheets, because it's not your job. Mapping sheet, business, business analysts, they create. Okay, low level and high level designs, generally architects, they do that. Okay, and all those documents at the end, after finishing everything, they will provide you for the implementation. Okay, and you need to go through that. If you have any queries, then they will help you. You need to raise all the queries if you are not getting anything in the mapping sheet. That for example, sometimes we miss, like business analyst or some people, they miss some things, like what are the end systems, what are the end systems uh, field names. So you can ask, you can understand with them, you can sit with them, you can take a session and you can understand. They will resolve all your queries. But developers generally don't do this task. Okay, if you are an architect, then only you need to do this. And generally like integration architect, not the platform architect. Platform architect will tell you about other things related to deployments and all. Okay, like your infrastructure. Okay, so let's start with the first step, like design. Okay, so this is our first step, designing. Okay,
Hi,
before,
Anurag.
hey, hi.
Sorry for interrupting. Are you presenting anything?
Yeah, we are sharing the screen. I think everyone is able to see the screen.
Actually, I can't see the screen, so
I
I'm not
think
sure.
then you need to rejoin one. Okay, just rejoin.
Okay, okay, fine.
Okay, yeah. So guys, before starting that, I will create, the trial account to show you. So any point platform login. Okay, so this is any point platform. You need to create a trial account as we already discussed last time in the first class. Okay. So I'm not giving one. So let me create a new one. Sign up. Let me quickly fill all my details. In the meantime, you guys also can create the trial accounts in your system. I just share you this link in the chat. And if you face any issues, let me know. This account will have uh, the validity of 30 days. After 30 days, you need to create another account for your development work or for the trainings. OK, so I ping the link in the chat section, and there will be this simple form. Fill it and like general account creation. OK, I do parallelly and you also do it at your end. Anybody have any questions or any challenges, then let me know. Okay. I quickly create the account. So guys, I have created the account. After giving all the details, this pop-up, you will get this pop-up. So don't worry about this. Just click on Note Now. Okay. So I'm just clicking on Note Now, so you guys can do it parallelly. Okay. So this is our Anypoint platform that will help us for all deployments, API specification creations, everything. OK, and this we created, and I will just show you what are the validities for this. So if you go to Runtime Manager, OK, So there are two environments like design and sandbox. Okay. For the trial account, we will have this and we can use any one, like I'm using the design. Okay. Environments are like, each API lifecycle, like when you create or when you create any application, there are 3 to 4 stages. One environment is related to all the developers, where developer can do anything for their testing, for their implementation. But after that, there is another environment, for example, QA or sandbox. Okay, so there, what testing team will test your implementation. They will create some bugs, everything, and then you need to fix it. After that, there will be a stage environment where we will test all, for example, like all security testing, security of API, or load on the API, how much request we can take, all kind of testing. Then there will be a pre-prod environment where we is just like a replica of the production environment. Okay, so production environment replica where we will test everything just like a production. And production is just like our live. We will put our API for all our customers and users so they can use it live, our application. Okay, so at the moment I just took the design. Okay, so this is the runtime manager where we will deploy our applications. So at the moment there is no application, so this is like that. But when you click on deploy application, it will show you the options. Okay, so I'll go back. This is all the options like design center, exchange, data graph will not cover in this one. Okay, access management to give the access. Who the developer who is preparing for MuleSoft platform architect. So these all options you need to go through, because in platform architect means who knows everything about the platform. Is kind of like a admin of the platform. So platform architect exam uh, is more related to any point platform. Okay, access management, like how to provide the access to all developers in the team, what they can perform, what they can't perform. Okay, they can deploy the application on any environment or not. For that we have access management. API manager is also to manage our APIs. Okay, that will cover runtime manager. We already shown you, this one is the runtime manager. Okay, visualizer, monitoring and secret manager. Visualizer, monitoring it to monitor your application. Visualizer, how your applications are interconnected. Okay, so all these things. If you want to understand about monitoring, then this Saturday we had a session about anypoint monitoring, and that recorded video is uploaded on YouTube. You can watch that video and you can get complete knowledge about API monitoring. Okay, that have all the details. Okay, so I hope people already created this. So our first step, as per the slide, is API designer. We need to design the API. So for that we need to use API designer. Okay, so for API designer, and now we need to go to this and then we need to search API designer. So API designer is the design center. If you go back, that is API designer is our design center. This one, click on this, it will open you. Yeah, so this is our design center. Okay, so API designer is a web-based tool to design APIs or specification as per the requirement. Okay, so while creating the application, it would validate that its interface for any syntax error or anything. It will validate, and it will also show the tab to validate the interfaces what we will create. Okay, so that's why the API designer comes into the picture. Okay, this is the thing. To create API specification, just create new. Okay, there are so many options: new API specification, API fragments, new mule app, new asynchronous API import from file. If you already have some specification created by yourself, you can import it. Fragments will cover when we will have a session of RAML, how to create, what are the best practices of RAML and all that. That time we will cover this one. Okay, so now just we will create a new API specification. Okay, just new API specification. Give the title. You can give any title here, like for example, like station API. Okay, for giving the title, every organization is, they are following their own naming conventions. Okay, you cannot simply give the any blunt name like something. Okay, every organization have some basic rules. Okay, like some basic rules and some, very strict guidelines to create the name of the API. Okay, so you need to follow that always. You cannot create by your own. Okay, when architects give you low level design and high level design, everything will be mentioned over there, and based on that you need to create this API name. So API title is just the API name. So I am just giving like station system API. Okay, and we already covered what is system API, process API, and everything. Okay, so yeah, this is the name of our API, and then the current version of the RAML. I'm comfortable designing it by my own. Okay, so otherwise guide me through it. Okay, you can select this option also, but we will. I'm going to tell you how we can create by our own. Okay, so we are selecting RAML 1.0. There is so many options. Okay, RAML 1.0, RAML. Earlier there were only two options, like one option RAML, but now we have Open API specification option also, OS 2.0, 3.0, iOS 3.0, JSON YAML. Okay, but I'm not gonna cover OS. I will cover RAML 1.0. Okay, both are almost same. If you have knowledge of RAML 1.0, so it's easy to learn OAS. Okay, don't worry about that. If you will understand RAML, then it's easy. If you will learn by yourself. But I cannot cover each and everything, so I am just covering RAML 1.0. 0.8 is older version. So 1.0 is latest version. So we will select this one. Okay, just create on API specification, create API spec. Okay, so it will create a API specification where you can create your specifications based on your, design, what we said, design document. Okay, so this I'm just a little bit zooming it. Okay, so this is the RAML that is automatically created with the title name station. That will be our main RAML file where we will have all the resources. Everything will be here. Okay, so guys, those are from non-IT background. Okay, don't worry about that. Just follow the steps what I am telling you. Just keep in mind everything we will cover, how to create everything in this design center, like RAML. What is RAML? I will having a separate session for this. Maybe next upcoming second class will be about all about RAML. Okay, today it's API lifecycle, and third class will, I'm not sure we will finish this today, but third session will be like next upcoming third session will be about RAML. Okay. So, but just to understand what is RAML, so RAML, I will say that it's kind of a blueprint of your application. Okay, its full form is RESTful API modeling language that makes our API lifecycle means it manage our API lifecycle from design to deployment. Okay, we can share this RAML, okay, easily to the client. before implementation, we created RAML in Design Center. We publish it into the Exchange. Exchange means like once we created the RAML, then we go here. There is a Exchange where we publish it. OK, and from there we can share everything to the client and they can use it. I will cover it. OK, so next is our design center is this API design one. I already told you. 1 second, where is my mouse? OK, so this was the sec. One moment. I think my mouse is stuck. A moment. Just minimize it. Yes. So this is done. This is Flow Designer. OK, so like we created a RAML here. OK, I already told you about the API designer. In the same way, we have a flow designer. OK, so if I go back here in the design center, we created this API specification station system API. Now go back to design center. Click on this. Earlier it was blank. OK, now because we created one API specification, so it is showing like this and created by MuleSoft station because this is the user, that is me. OK, this is the user, that is me, like the company name. So it is created by MuleSoft station. Everything is here, your profile related information, you can check it out. OK, and created on this. Not created means whenever you will update, it will just show you last update. OK, so like name modified, created on this, created by this, everything, and you can open from this one. OK, now I will show you API specification. Okay. Like test, just give you. OK, this option is like everything will be there. They will guide you. What is your name? What version of API? What are the protocols? HTTP, HTTPS. So guys, this I think eh, I already conveyed what is HTTP and HTTPS, but the people from non-IT background, they can just read it from the Google. OK, like what is HTTP and HTTP. I think I already told you what you need to search on the Google and what are the best ways to learn about this. But these are the main topics to, to learn HTTP, because generally if you go on any website, for example, any banking website, HTTPS, like initials are like HTTPS or HTTP. OK, so you need to learn about this. What are HTTP and what is HTTP? There is a difference. OK, so like its full form is hypertext transfer protocol. OK, so I think there is a website W3 School or Tutorials Point, Java T Point. I will ping you those links. You can go through from there. OK, so that you will get it from there. So this is just to, they will guide you how to create. So this is the one. OK, now go back in the design center. I'm not creating it. OK, this one I'm deleting. You can delete like this. If you will click on this API, there is an option edit, delete. If you click on delete, it will delete. OK, so now this one. I was in the if you see on the slide, this is Flow Designer. OK, so this comes create new. Where is this new Mule app, like test, just for create app. After creating app, it will create you like loading Flow Designer. If you see the message loading Flow Designer, So it is loading the flow designer. Okay, so that is also like to create our flow. Okay, as per this diagram, designer by creating a raml. If you don't want to create a raml, you can if you don't, flow designer means just like, you know, everything you can create. You don't need any point studio. You can create your API using flow designer and you can share it with the client. Okay. So it will having all the components already in the here, like trigger. For example, I have a trigger HTTP connector. It is a listener because starting point as a source of our API is a listener. HTTP connector listener. Next. Okay. Target, we can select any target. 1 second. Yeah. Currently, I'm not selecting any target. We'll cover later. For just go straight to canvas. Okay. I will select it back from here. HTTP. It's showing only request. 1 moment. Yeah. So generally the who are beginners or like they are new to this because in the MuleSoft training they tell you how to design your API with the flow designer. Okay, so there you will get plus and here you will get a you know, trigger point. So there, in if you will trigger the plus, that will be all about your processing the message and your targets. But if you will click here, that is for your listeners, like your, for example, HTTP listener, or for example, your any subscribers from message subscribers. Okay, so that everything will be here. So HTTP listener, this is all about the flow designer. You can create a complete flow. I'm covering all the components of API, all the components of API lifecycle today, and we'll cover all the development after this. Okay, so this is a flow designer where you can create a complete flow. You don't need any point studio here. You can create a flow here. Okay, and that's why we use flow designer. Okay, so next one is like actually this is also like we already covered the RAM API designer. This is flow designer. So this is also like a web-based tool to implement the actual API without using our studio. Studio I already shown you earlier. This is our studio. Okay. 1 moment, guys. Yes. So this is our studio. So in case of flow designer, we don't need this. When we will design our API with the RAML, then to create the complete implementation, we need this studio. We already covered that in the last class, what all these things are. Okay, so you can watch that video. The people who join today will share those recordings after this class. Okay, so you can watch it. Okay, so this is studio, and it is also a part of design center. Okay, now the next component is mocking service. Okay, so mocking service is kind like it is again one of the feature under the design center. I will show you back here. Go back to the design center. Okay, this is also a one feature of the design center through which we can, you know, quickly validate our API specifications. This only means validating our API specifications. For example, I created this RAML. Okay, so let me show you something. what is the mock service. So here we will create a small example. Okay, for example, like slash accounts. Okay, and then we'll have its get method. Okay, and for example, get response. Okay, I already have a YAML. Let me show you 1 second. I just copy paste it here so it's easy to understand for you guys. Moment. Oh, moment. It's not a zip file. Issues. Okay, this is our YAML. At the moment, I created this YAML for someone who asked the question on the helper forum, MuleSoft helper forum. So I created this YAML for that person. Okay, so just to showcase you what mocking uh, do that. So if you go this account, okay, click on the account. If you this is try it like to validate our our APIs. So just try it and there will be everything like whatever query parameters, headers, what is the, it will give you a, this request URL. OK, everything is there. OK, so you can just click and you can validate what are the response and request, what are the response you need to give. Like if any headers are required, query parameters are required, then you can validate from here and you can just send a request. OK, so if any error or something, it will give you all the errors accordingly. OK, so it is kind of like the this mock service. This only provide the mock API without any actual implementation, and developer can validate request and response of the API. So that is our mock service. OK, uh, that is our mock service. So you can just validate request and response of the API without actual implementation. OK, so next is our mocking service. After mocking service, we have API console. OK, so API console comes under validate. OK, so API console is this is used to validate the API specification. OK, one moment. I'll show you the image also for that I created for you guys. Let me open the image. OK, so if you see this image, OK, that I got it from Google. So this is a kind of API console. So this is used to validate the API specifications. OK, so you can share after creating, after creating the YAML, you can publish it to Exchange. OK, and then there will be, what we say, you can share those with your clients or vendors. So whenever a code is, and this console we generally get whenever you whenever you create a code generated in Anypoint Studio using RAML, then a default API console code is also generated. Okay, so that API console only comes when Mule application is deployed on Mule runtime. So advantage of this console is it can be shared outside of organization, like with vendors and clients. Okay. And so we don't need to access, means they don't need to access our Anypoint platform to validate the same. We will just share this API console with them and they will validate everything according to their business requirements, like what type of request and response API is giving, what are the methods of that APIs, everything they can validate. It's not with the clients. You can share it with your architects. Okay, they can also validate your implementation or your RAML in this way. Okay, so this is uh, like our API console. Okay, so this is a like kind of a, after this step, like after validating. So this is after validating, they will give you some feedback. Okay, like they will let you know like what changes you need to do. If everything is perfect, then fine, but definitely there will be some feedbacks. So after that feedback, this circle, if you see this circle, okay, this is a recursive process where we keep on validating the RAML design, means specification with client vendors, and based on their feedback, we again follow the same process. RAML design, then mocking service, then validating again with the client, then they will give some feedback, then again. So it is a recursive process. Okay. So till the client is not happy, okay, or all your API specification meet to the business requirements. Okay, so when we receive a positive feedback from the client, we move to the develop and testing phase. This phase. 1 second, again my mouse on. Hold on. Hmm. So this phase, after this feedback, if you see this one will come back here, develop and testing phase. Okay, so we develop our application using Anypoint Studio. Okay, and then we create some M units. M units also I will cover. Okay, like RAML separate topic, M unit separate topic, developing the API is separate topic, deployment is separate topic, publishing it will be a separate topic. Okay, and then operate means it's monitoring, API manager, everything. So this will be our separate, all each step will be our separate topic to discuss. Today we are just covering all. I'm just giving you an overview of each component. Okay, so once you get the positive feedback, then you will switch to the development. So development, what is the development? Okay, what is develop phase? So develop phase means our actual implementation of the API, means where we need Anypoint Studio, which is I already covered this, that Anypoint Studio is our IDE for developing and testing mule applications. Okay, so it provide a feature through which we can download our API specification from Design Center. Whatever we created in the design phase, we will download it in Anypoint Studio. Okay, so if you go to Anypoint Studio, there we need to connect the studio with our this Anypoint platform to download this RAML. Okay, that we will cover it. Okay, so you will get this complete, whatever you will design here, everything you will get here in your Anypoint Studio. Okay, so after creating your application, like I created this application, for example, test API using a listener, logger, transform message. In the same way, when you will download, like we'll go here and we'll just import from the design center API specification, it will create an API and then you will get a RAML. Then from RAML, you will create a flow. There will be API console also. That console I already showing you a picture. This type of console you will get. OK, in terms of code. OK, but you can share that. There will be a link. You can share it with your client. OK, so that is like kind of develop. Then there will be a testing. OK, so if you see this folder, SRC test M unit. OK, this folder is for our testing purpose. So Anypoint Studio Also, like, and this is Anypoint Studio that comes with local mule runtime on which we run our mule application and test it. Okay, so we run our application in two modes: debug mode and our simple running mode. Okay, so debug mode help us to debug the application. Okay, so the SIC test unit will create some test cases based on our these flows. Okay, so like unit means like simple in the layman language, if I will say, unit is to testing our flow without internet. If we don't have any internet in our system and we want to check our whatever we the API implementation we have done, it is working perfectly fine or not. For that, we create units and we test our application properly. Whatever inputs and outputs, we everything we mock it. We generally don't mock our processes like message processing, like transform message, loggers. We don't mock it because these are actual implementation where we put our logics based on input and output. So we just mock our input and output. We give all input and output like we give into a file. Okay, instead of giving actual request, everything will be the unit flows will read it from the files. Okay, and then it will process and test the complete flow. Okay, this is the testing. Okay, one moment. Shuffle. Okay, so after this testing, the next phase after the testing, we need to deploy. We need to deploy the application. So develop test is done in Anypoint Studio. Unit is done in the testing. So first we develop, then we need to test, that is in unit. Okay, then we need to deploy. Okay, so for deployment, we need a runtime manager. So runtime manager is where this is runtime manager. If we go to the runtime manager, this one. Okay, click on this. As runtime manager is available, it is a feature of Anypoint platform, or it is available in Anypoint platform, and we use it. Okay, I think when it is $28. Okay, yeah. So this is because we created, a test. So I guess so. I'm just deleting it. It will make you confused. Okay, so this is our runtime manager that is like to manage mule runtimes. Okay, so not to manage mule runtimes means it is available in Anypoint platform and used to manage mule runtimes. If we deploy any application here, okay, we need to deploy every application here. Okay, so mule runtime is kind of a container on which our mule applications are deployed and run. Okay, so this is this Anypoint platform, we called it like, a cloud hub. In the same way, we have on-premise. Okay, on-premise or cloud hub. So like mule runtime, it can be on-premise or cloud hub. Okay, and can configure in runtime manager accordingly. Okay, so this is our deployment. We need to deploy here our application. Okay, so this is the deploy step, and then we need to operate. Okay, we need to operate our application that is deployed on runtime manager. So for that we need API manager. Okay, so if you go back in Design Center, there is API manager. This is the API manager. Okay, so that is also available on Anypoint platform by clicking on this, and this is API manager. So this is also under the API manager. You need to, like earlier I selected a environment, sandbox and design. In the same way here, you will have a environment sandbox. Currently we have, because it's a trial account, right? So we have a sandbox, but when you will work on actual projects, you will get the access of different environments. Junior developers get just simple one, one environment access. It's like sandbox or design or development. Every organization have different names. Okay, so based on your skill set or based on your experience, they assign you, or based on your designation, they assign you the access to the environment. Okay, so this is you like our application deployed on sandbox or production or pre-prod. Accordingly, you need to select the environment from here. So if you see, this is the switch environment, so you can switch from here. There will be a list, so you can click on any name and then click on switch, and then it will switch you this, or it will route you to the another environment. Okay, so another thing is here, like there are some options: API groups, policies, client applications, analytics. Okay, there are different options. So analytics, like API management, as its name all automatically, saying manage something. Okay, so it kind of a management tool which we can use to secure or restrict the access on APIs, to provide some policies on the APIs. Okay, so that's why we use API manager. So in API manager, we have this any point like analytics. So it is a kind of any API manager feature that provides you useful informations of your APIs, how APIs are accessed. Okay, like it is similar kind of like, for example, Facebook Analytics, Google Analytics. Okay, and provide informations on what date, on what location, like that kind of analytics we can do by API manager. Okay, so then like each application where it is where it is when it is requested, all dates will be there, all locations will be there, everything will be there. Okay, so this is about API manager. And then we have publish. Okay, operate, one second again, stop. Okay, so this is done. Deploy runtime manager, I already finished. Operate, API manager, and analytics done. Now publish. For publish, we have API portals and anypoint exchange. Okay, so API portals. What are API portals? API portals, it's a portal that is used by other developers. Okay, to access different APIs available within your organization. Okay, so I will show you that once you publish your API on any point exchange. Okay, then you will have all those informations. But then I can show you something. Any point public APIs platform APIs. So any point MuleSoft gives automatically some APIs that you can use. Okay, so for example, exchange platform APIs. Let me click on this. Yeah, like this. So if you go, if you see this, it have all the information. Okay, same like RAML. When we publish the RAML, it comes to the exchange. Okay, there also what is the group ID, asset ID, all the URI parameters, what are the request body, response body, and just need to send the request and it will show you what the response contains nobody because it's 204 because it's support, it is updating. So this is kind of the API exchange. So when we will create a RAML, when we'll publish it, I will show you completely everything about this exchange. Okay, it will be more clear to that time, but in the as it is part of this diagram, API portals and anypoint exchange. So API portal is a portal used by other developer to access different APIs that is available in your organization. Okay, it includes API related documentation. Okay, it's examples. It's a complete in and out of your API with the documentation. And these API portals can be public, it can be available on internet or it can be private. means private, like it can be accessible only within your organization. Public means it can be available on internet. It depends, okay, how you are creating the API portal. Okay, you want to make it public or private. And exchange, like this is, if I show you this, this is the exchange. Okay, so like whatever this one, this is all our exchange APIs. Okay, one more thing I want to show you. No problem. So these are the assets in the exchange. MuleSoft Station means our, like that is only accessible to me, provided by MuleSoft, or like whatever I will create under my applications. Okay, all assets, public portals. So these are the public portal. Let me show you this. So this is kind of public portal, and all types means REST APIs. So whatever public APIs will be available, it will show you. Like my applications, it will be your application, whatever you are creating. And these are like provided by MuleSoft. What some public APIs are there, means like public assets are there, like Salesforce connector, Amazon S3 connector, everything is there. You just need to import it in your Anypoint Studio and you can utilize all its features. Okay, so these are the public assets. Okay, so like Kafka and file connector, HL7, X12, okay, API Kit module. Okay, everything is available here. Like if you want, you are integrating with Slack, then some data view Slack library is there. Okay, so cryptography module is there. Okay, so more kind of, it's a feature like Exchange kind of a feature on any point platform, which can be used for API discovery. Okay, and also within organization, different development teams can access API Exchange for getting required APIs. Like if you your organization created some public assets, so it's not related to only your team. It can be accessible by other teams also who are working on MuleSoft, and if they want to access, like it's kind of, you can create a common asset that can be used by all other teams working in your organization. Okay, so this API Exchange promotes API reusability within the organization. Okay, so some account management related APIs, for example, that can be used by different development teams within the organization that are dealing with some account managements. Okay, so it's more kind of we use it, it's kind of, it promotes actually API reusability. Okay, so this is like, I think I have covered all the steps. Okay, so Anypoint Exchange. So this was all about the API lifecycle. Okay, in next, like again in the, like after doing all these things, we will get a feedback. Okay, for example, some product is already in, some product is already there, we get some feedback on there, and we need some customization on that. Okay, so based on new requirement, a new set of API version we need to create it, and that also will follow the same life cycle. Okay, means, so this is all about the API lifecycle. Okay, so I think today it's enough to understand. Wins. I will cover only this. This is all about API lifecycle. Tomorrow I will take one huge case where I will develop something. For example, I will create a small RAML. Okay, like kind of a use case. Okay, API lifecycle complete use case. I will cover it tomorrow. So I will create a small RAML. Okay, I will publish it. I will show you mocking. I will publish it to Exchange. I will import it into Anypoint Studio. Means I will download the RAML in Anypoint Studio. I will show you API console. I will show you how to connect Anypoint Studio to Anypoint platform to download the RAML, and then we will, the complete use case till deployment. We will deploy the API. Okay, and then we will see its API manager, and we will see its analytics. Everything will be there. Okay, so for today's it's done. I'm not extending today's session. For today, API lifecycle complete. We covered all the components. Okay, I already recorded this session, so I will share it with you guys. You can go through. Okay, and then tomorrow it will be easy to understand for you guys. Okay, if you have any question for related to today's session, then let me know about these components, because if you will ask advanced questions, it will not help other people. Yes, Mark, go ahead, unmute yourself and ask a question. Yes, Mark. I cannot hear you. Mark, I cannot hear you.